Today's video, how to be less lonely. So, as it turns out, after I graduated, my adult life is a lot lonelier than my college and my younger life. The reason for that is because all the clubs and all the social activities and all the mingling doesn't seem to happen as naturally as it used to. Sure, you can find friends in the workplace, but at the same time, you got to keep it a bit more professional. So why am I making this video on how to be a little less lonely? It's because it's such a huge problem to so many people that are very successful. Say you have a great job. I know plenty of friends who have great jobs, work in great places, and on paper they're very successful, but at the same time they feel this deep loneliness, that they feel like they don't fit in, or that they don't have that sense of self and that sense of community that a lot of humans crave and need, because after all, we are social animals. Now, the reason why this is such an important thing to tackle is because when you're alone, a lot of times we get into this negative loop, this negative mindset. We start being more cynical of other people, and we're just closed off to a lot of different experiences, and our reality becomes just this tiny little space inside our head. And we, like I mentioned earlier, are social creatures, and we need to have social interaction that helps us build society, that helps us get into the next level of whatever we need to do, that helps us bounce ideas, and that is something that's huge and important as a human. Now, the goal of this video is so that you can learn how to be a little bit less lonely. A lot of times, I know plenty of people who are very successful that are lonely, and this video is for you to assess your situation and to maybe figure out how to be more social and make more friends. So the first question and the first approach is to ask yourself why you feel lonely. Maybe it's because the people around you and the people that are currently your friends aren't really the best fit for you. Say you're surrounded by people that are in your workplace, that hang out after work, and at the same time, even though they're your friends, you feel like you're just someone on the side that just hangs out and doesn't really make a contribution to that group of friends. Well, that just means that's not a good group of friends for you. And you have the luxury to go out and find different people that fit in better. Or maybe it's because you don't participate in social situations. Maybe you're hanging out at home all the time, playing video games. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Maybe sometimes you need video games to decompress and de-stress, but having too much of it isn't the best for your social life, and in turn makes you a bit more lonely because you're in this reality that is a video game, or in this other reality that doesn't help you socialize. Or maybe you just have a low self-esteem right now. And if you have a low self-esteem right now, we have to figure out why and what is causing that. And when you figure that out, you can start tackling those questions and become someone that's very confident in what you do. And when you're confident in what you do, then people start to come around, and you're also more willing to accept you for who you are. So the key to this is when you figure out what your current social situation is, you can start finding ways to improve it. Next thing to consider is to know your zone. What kind of people you thrive with best. For instance, maybe you like playing League of Legends, or you like surfing, or you like skating, or you're just a group of accountants. Basically, if you know what kind of people you thrive with best, you're able to hang out with that group and be the best you. And some things to consider are what kind of personalities that they have, what kind of goals that they have, what lifestyle do they live, and does that reflect with the same type of goals, lifestyles, and personalities that you have as well. And because all of this mainly is finding the people that you are most comfortable around, because when you're comfortable around somebody, you can finally start feeling less lonely. All right, so this is probably the most important one. Are you a good friend? What that means is, are you empathetic to what your friends' needs are? Are you empathetic to their feelings? Do you understand that they are also their own humans living their own life? Many times we get so caught up in our world that we try to manipulate other people. Maybe not manipulate, but many times we get so caught up in our own world that we try to force other people to think and behave like we do. And when you do that too much, people don't like you. It's not fun to be around someone that's always trying to impose their thoughts and views and opinions on you. So be mindful of that, and be mindful that they are in their own world as well. They're living their own life as well. So the big word is empathy. One big thing is don't dominate conversations. Many times we talk to people and we keep talking and talking and talking without letting them have any input, without even checking what they think about what we just said. We just keep going, and I do personally know many friends that are like that, and while I am understanding, sometimes that could come off just wrong and rub people the wrong way, because you know, when people are able to open up and talk and converse in a 50-50 conversation, that helps make the relationship a lot better. If you're just talking and it's one-sided, then it's a one-sided relationship, and people don't like that. And make sure you're accepting of other people. No one is obligated to stick around. So if you're always trying to change them and force them to be someone else or expect something very highly of them, it might push them away. You can't expect someone to just do everything you want, bend their backs over and help you out, and like just, you know, go really out of their way to help you out while you're not specifically or necessarily returning the same favors. So if it's a fair, equal exchange, then yes, it would be nice if people did what you put in as well. But if it is not a fair relationship, then people don't have to stick around. And if it's not a fair relationship where you're expecting too much, then it's completely fair that people don't stick around. And this segments into, are you there for them? Are you there for your friends when they're in need, when they have emotional problems, when they have things come up in their life that are tough? Are you there to help them out? If you're just there to party and barely know them, don't invest in their life, don't try to put in the effort to be a good friend, then they're most likely not going to be a good friend with you. It goes both ways. The best way to have a good relationship with someone is to invest some of your emotional IQ or your emotional capacity into their life and understand them and connect. And the last part in this section is, do you treat other people like the way you want them to treat you? Are you open? Are you welcoming? Are you just nice? And you know, like, you should treat people the way that you want them to treat you. Many times people treat others a different way than what you want other people to treat you. Like specifically with people that talk too much. If they were talking a lot and their friends were talking a lot, then it's gonna be a back and forth that never really gets settled. People are just gonna try to talk on top of each other. So be mindful for your friends and be mindful for the people that you wanna be friends with. And finally, go out and find some friends. Be open-minded to meeting new people, experiences. Don't just judge right away. Don't jump into a conclusion right away of what somebody is like. Be open-minded and see what they're all about. Listen to their stories. The best way to be interesting to someone is to be interested. And one bonus thing, it's completely okay to spend time by yourself. A lot of times we have this pressure to want to hang out and to socialize, that by being so pressured to do that, we feel lonely. So be okay with hanging out with yourself, be accepting of yourself, and if you're not, I have another video that helps you out with that. So the key takeaway for this, find your place, be a good person, and go out and make friends. And you'll feel a lot less lonely once you go out and socialize. Anyways, if you like this video, leave a comment below of what you want to learn as well, and also click this button to subscribe and watch my other videos as well. Until then, cheers from Maui.